I'm Irving, and I have no life, just like you.
The Ballad of Irving. Irving. Big fat Irving. Big sport Irving. The 142nd fastest gun in the West.
This is yet another mod, but this time we're working off the engine and all that built Half-Life 2, so we have a little better graphics. So, who's awakening? Well, it's our old pal Adrian Shepherd from the Opposing Force add-on. At the end of that one, he was apparently put into stasis just like Freeman was. This mod says it tells us what happened to him after that. Over the opening credits, we get a fairly basic wide-angle view of a Combine raid on some kind of holdout. In true Half-Life fashion, it doesn't actually tell us who's being attacked, we just get lots of PG-rated carnage and noise. We have the big walking things, those goofy flying machines of theirs. Seriously, the way those things flop and squiggle and writhe in the air makes me wonder why they don't crash into either the ground or each other every 5 seconds or so. Even when I've been in the middle of fighting them, I have a hard time taking them seriously. And there's one human helicopter in the middle of all that, and it's fighting for the bad guys. Well, let's see if we can figure out what's actually going on here. We make our way inside where one of our usual scientists can't seem to figure out that bombs and bullets just may cause problems for his experiment.
Did you pay attention? The Combine are attacking the base. We have to leave to the emergency exit now. Oh my, just now we have a stable field for the zero-point energy modulator.
The Aluminum Q-36 explosive space modulator.
Barney, I guess, gets him out of there just before the Combine breaks in. I'm gonna guess that's some of the stasis stuff. Shepherd, wakey wakey! Okay, I guess you can have 5 more minutes. Just remember to set the snooze alarm, okay? I said 5 minutes, not 3 days.
So, Corporal Shepherd, eh? We meet at last.
It's our old friend, what's-his-name. He's here to wake you up so you can... What? What does he want you to do?
Turns out I have a new task for you. I'm afraid I can't give you any specifics. Just do the things you do.
Of course. Do what you do. What does that mean? For the last 20 years it meant sleep. So, keep sleeping? Okay, I can't take any more of this. This guy, this G-Man as people call him, best I can gather, his job is to gather up human assets like Freeman and Shepherd and others and keep them handy for when we need them to help repel these alien invasions and protect Earth. May I just say, he's terrible at it! When the whole thing started, he was nowhere to be found until Freeman figured out a way to stop the big bad. Then this genius puts him to sleep for 20 years while the aliens and the Combine and everybody else takes over the Earth, and he doesn't start waking these assets up until the planet has already fallen to the bad guys. What good is he? By keeping these people frozen for 2 freaking decades, he pretty well single-handedly guaranteed that the Earth would be conquered. Why are we still paying him to do this? I think he's a collaborator. We should shoot him the first chance we get. If nothing else, we wouldn't have to listen to his annoying voice anymore. There's a Combine soldier. How am I... Huh? He didn't even see me. What's... What was that all about? You wander around until you find a way to go somewhere that isn't here, and before long we start doing Half-Life stuff. Oh, there it is! I was wondering why I didn't have my government-issued crowbar to beat people with. Remember, when crowbars are outlawed, only outlaws will have crowbars. Through these ducts until you come to a grate. It's solid, my crowbar can't seem to break it. So let's go. I don't know why I'm not surprised. Welcome to Half-Life Physics. But I have a bigger problem. I'm hearing voices. Oh, there's somebody there. Ooh, a rather nice somebody. It's always the right time when I'm here, baby. I'm sure that was convincing.
I managed to hide this experimental tool from the Combine. I can't hide it here forever. You must take it to Dr. Kleiner in City 17 right away.
The experimental tool she's talking about turns out to be the good old gravity gun. You take it and start on your way. She tells you there's a dune buggy in the garage that you can use to escape, and some of the ducks will get you there. So let's do this. I need to get through this duct, but there's a big gap that I have to bridge. This grate was hanging on the side, and I spent half an hour trying to get it loose from various angles. No luck. That's because there's another one laying over there in the other part of the duct waiting for me to notice it. And I come out right above the chick I was just listening to. I started to say talking to, but that would imply my character talks, and that's just silly. That brings you out into a room where you have to fight some Combine guys. And by the way, you can't use the gravity gun to throw bad guys around in this one. It's too bad. I guess the Combine started coating their armor with anti-gravity gunnium or something. Or maybe it's just a poorly done mod. Once you're in this room, you have to figure out how to get out. Of course, the door to the control room was locked, and Mr. Rough Tough Crowbar is too wimpy to break it open. There's a busted window up there, but the gravity gun doesn't affect it. Turns out you're supposed to hop onto the railing and go in through that window. Naturally. The good news is the room was full of goodies like health and a .357 Magnum that will blow the bad guys into dust. As it happens, just as you open the gate, some bad guys show up. At the moment I'm using my machine gun, but it'll do a decent job on them. As soon as I can see them. I hate those things, and I've never figured out what they're actually supposed to be for except to blind me. Once you're done with that nonsense, there's a dune buggy in that truck. You can drive it. Drive may be too strong a word for it. WTF around is more like it because these controls are freaking impossible. I could not make this thing do anything. To make matters worse, you can't shoot while you're in the buggy, so you're a sitting duck for any bad guys you meet. Naturally, there are several just outside the gate, so expect to get blasted to pieces at least once. Okay, the .357 is pretty awesome, and it looks great too. The graphics really are well done. Too bad stuff like the dune buggy controls don't follow suit. And even some of the graphics. I smoke a lot of cannabis for my chronic pain, but somehow I don't think this is me. What is it doing? The best part is, every window does this. The one on the other side of this gate is the same. More windows further along do the same thing. I'm not sure consistent reuse of a glitch is a good thing. I gave up on the dune buggy immediately and went forward on foot, clearing out bad guys and opening gates as I went. But after the last gate, I took a look at how far I had to go and decided that I'd better give it another chance, if only because I didn't want to be wandering through this mod until doomsday. Oh joy, these things again. And this time they can appear out of nowhere. Just what we needed. There's also a few hoppers on the road just to spice things up. That was amazing! We do have our moments. The gravity gun is how you get rid of these things, of course, and it does the job nicely. There's just a buttload of them. Fortunately, they're not waterproof. Moving on. Make your own joke. I had to leave it there and go on foot again. Crap! Ominous music! I hate ominous music. It's so ominous. Okay, what's waiting to reduce me to red goo? Goody. Combine soldiers and one of those weird flying things. Those things remain one of the most ridiculous objects I've seen in a game yet. They can shoot you with unerring accuracy, but they move like the world's worst three-legged race team. I have trouble suspending disbelief to put those two things together. There's a rocket launcher and plenty of ammo, but getting an angle on this stupid thing is practically impossible. Especially when the rocket doesn't actually go where the sight is pointing and runs into the nearest useless object instead. I lost count of how many times it took to get past this thing. Remember that not just any old rocket hit will do. You have to hit it in just the right spot to do any damage. And nobody knows where the heck that is, so just keep firing and reloading and firing and reloading and running like a maniac until it goes down. How many hits does it take? One more than that, at least. Okay, that didn't work. And in case you're wondering, yes, I did eventually figure out that I could guide the rockets with the laser. While I was watching my game footage to write this script. While I was playing that footage, no freaking clue. I'll give you a moment. I did finally bring the blasted thing down. Yes, I have exactly 2 health points left. And I'll take it. I beat the flying floppy thing!
That's what she said.
What? It actually got pretty interesting trying to go on with just 2 health points. It took a lot of restarts, obviously, but it also forced me to get really creative as far as how I did stuff. There's 2 Combine guys way over there, I know that from previous attempts. I'm trying to pick them off from far away so I don't have to dodge their bullets. Hey, it worked! And one of them dropped health. So now I have 12 health points instead of 2. What a deal! Actually, I'll take it. That's one thing I'll give this mod, it does play fair when it comes to things like health. As I said, and even though I used the loudest gun in my arsenal, nobody heard me take that guy out. So that was a stealth health. I said to play the laugh track. There's more bad guys in this barn, but my health is still tenuous enough that I can't take them on directly. I decided to draw them out.
I love it when a plan comes together.
There's more inside, but they're fairly easy to deal with, especially if you have a few grenades. Some more appear from out of the mysterious beyond outside and come after you. Health 80, suit 60. As I said, definitely fair with the health. And that was quite enjoyable. I have to admit, starting that sequence so low on health made it more fun because I had to outthink a bunch of enemies who can see through objects like that truck I was sneaking around. Or did you notice that he was looking directly at me when I emerged? And that guy I took out by stealth? Another time I tried to sneak up on him with the crowbar. Even though I was directly behind him, the eyes in the back of his head told him I was there and he turned around. So figuring out how to work past stuff like that without taking a single hit really was interesting. It almost felt like I was playing Splinter Cell or some similar stealth type game. Once you've eliminated the bad guys, you have to build some steps to get over that force field in the corner because that's where the next gate control you need is located. There were a couple of boxes in here, but the firefight took care of those. They're what all that health and suit juice was in. So all you have to work with are barrels. And if one tips on its side, expect to spend the next 2 hours trying to get it to stand up again. The switch in there also turns off that force field so you can get out. I'm glad somebody thought of that. You move on down the road where a bunch of those sticky ball-o-madoodles appear, but taking them out with the gravity gun is basically busy work. I was still on foot, so I'm not sure how much hassle it is to get past them with the dune buggy. Once they're out of the way, you move on. Uh-oh, blue laser means... an absolutely impossible sniper. I think not. Unless that's an automated heat-seeking scope or something, nobody's that good. Having learned from recent experience, I got sneaky and came at the guy from underneath where he couldn't hit me.
Blood loss detected.
Much. He seems to be up in these rocks somewhere and... what's that? I don't believe it. It is automated. Well, I'd better... I can't get over there? Then what do? It's not responding to me. So I sneak past it? Sure enough! Hug that fence and you can make it around the side of that building without it seeing you. Turn the corner and we see... that's either something very bad for me or the worst NASA promo ever. Through the fence and a graphic tells us we're at Kilo Base. I have no idea what the significance of that is, but I think we all know what was in that missile. That's right. Red and white shirts and blue pants. Run for your lives!
Warning. Levels detected. Automatic medical systems engaged. Morphine administered.
Morphine! That's what I need to get through this. You make your way through this place, dealing with critters and blue pants as you go. The game isn't as generous with ammo as it is with health. You'll notice I'm carrying my crowbar. That's because it and the gravity gun are all I have. Everything else is empty. Fortunately, at the moment, I don't seem to need anything else. There's a gangway of sorts here that I can move with the gravity gun. The question is, which submarine do I need to go to? I really wish I could blame that on game mechanics. Hey, wait a minute, did I just see... Well, it's anchored good and solid at that end. Unfortunately, that was the wrong anchor because that was the wrong submarine. There was nothing over there, not even anything to pick up or a box to break. So I moved on to the other one. I saw somebody in that room, and the only somebodies in this game are bad guys. So follow the bad guys and let's go.
Lacerations detected.
Okay, bad guy singular. That brings us into another sub-pen where there's nothing. On through there and you start encountering monsters and blue pants again. Sadistic but effective. Let's keep going because we're supposed to... What's our mission again? I have no idea. Anyway, you go through lots of weird places and encounter lots of weird stuff and you come out here. Well, that's just cheating. Why don't I get a magic purple ring? Never mind, I'll take theirs once I'm done with them. So where's this thing taking me? Looks like a bad rendition of Stargate. Not him again! Oh good, we blew past him before he could try to talk. Citadel Foundations, whatever that means. And what is up with the fog? That's no moon. I mean, that's not fog. It's another glitch. There's a ladder going up around here, but it's really hard to find because nothing is clear. I went past it a couple of times before I finally landed at just the right angle where it actually looked like a ladder. Incidentally, once you come out by the purple ring, there's a ton of ammo for your weapons, and after you take those two bad guys down, you can also take their pulse rifles. Nice. But the video just kept getting worse. I had no clue what I was looking at or even if the floor was solid. Turns out it was a weapons rack, and the ladder I need to continue is also in here. Or at least a poor rendition of it is. Okay, that's just not fair. Not only can I not see him because he's not completely there, but I'm supposed to believe he can hit me with that kind of accuracy with a submachine gun from that far away.
I don't think so.
Most of these weapons have some kind of secondary fire. With the submachine gun, it's a grenade launcher. Throwing a bad guy over the sign was the elevator call button? Who knew? Never mind, I'll take the stairs. Or just not go up because where I need to be is on the other side of this room. Through another hall and you come out to a hippie paradise. Those walls are making me dizzy. After a lot of searching because everything is so hard to see, I found a little elevator up to the next level. That's where I saw this. So this is some kind of production facility for these things? Or distribution, or storage, or just a thing that makes them go up and down because they like to go whee! What am I doing here? Why am I even in this place? Last I heard, I'm supposed to be taking the gravity gun to Dr. Hurtleburgle. Why does that take me through this place? Up at the top, we find a room where they're making yet another magic purple ring. I get the feeling I'm supposed to do something with it, but I had trouble getting past the ghost. Ghost of what? I probably don't want to know. There's another one pretty much just like it on the other side of the room, so at least they're not lonely. You know, there are easier and less complex ways to punch a hole in a wall. Shortly after this, I couldn't take any more, so I exited the game. When I came back in, the video was fine. Not asking. Further on, you come to another mystery place. This one has a couple of turrets guarding it, but you can just knock them down with gunfire and go in. Excuse me, since when do those things shoot lying down? Into what looks like some old subway cars, through some more weirdness, and you come to this. Looks like we have a lock coded to some critter's handprint. Is that really what Shepherd's hand looks like? Live long and prosper. Okay, what does this thing do? It's some kind of surveillance thing. It's showing me places that I don't recognize and telling me we're overrun with antlions. Well, the level is called Antlion Infestation, so that might tell us something. I guess it's telling me where I need to go and what to expect when I get there. May as well get on with it. One cool thing about the antlions is, when you kill them, they become ghosts too. And of course, since this is an antlion thing, you have to battle one of the big ones. The good news is, there's this convenient room that it can't get into, so you can just blast away at it from in there. This might actually be too easy because it sure doesn't look like that thing can get to me. Or maybe it can walk through a closed door with no problem. What's plan B? Plan B is basically to find a place where you can just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot at it until it does that. Find your way to the next door and move on. I already shot that thing, but it won't stop moving. At least it's not attacking, so I'm going to guess it just doesn't realize it's dead yet. Or somebody screwed up some code. Oh, not this again! All my guns, all my stuff, and of course this thing doesn't just take them, it destroys them. Wasteful much? Let's just keep going, shall we? Oh, goody, another random button for me to push. The last one got me overrun by antlions. I'm guessing this one will rip my ears off. This one turns the display into a Jackson Pollock drawing. What was the point of that? Jackson Pollock plus an earthquake. What is going on here? So what's... That's Dr. Breen, the bad guy in Half-Life 2. What's he babbling about?
Do you have any idea about the consequences of your actions? Do you really need to stop the Combine? It will only stall them for a little while. Wait, what's that? Where did he go?
The consequences of my actions? What did I do? I don't even know what my freaking mission is or what I'm supposed to be doing. That wingnut just told me to do what I do, and the bimbo said to take the gravity gun to somebody. Everything since then has been, what the hell am I doing here? So no, I haven't had much chance to contemplate the consequences of my actions because I have no way to know what they are.
I see you didn't disappoint me, Corporal Shepherd. May I congratulate you on a job well done.
What did I do?
And now it's time for you to sleep again until we meet once more.
That's it? I have no idea what just happened. I went from point A to point B and killed everything along the way, and I probably could have taken care of Breen too if that goofball hadn't yanked me away. How'd he do that anyway? And who is that guy? This is a typical Half-Life story, which is to say, there is no story. You just wander around killing stuff and pretending you have a clue why. I know there are others out there, but I'm done with this. These mods are lame, they're buggy, and they're pointless. Basically, they're visual fanfic. If you want to spend your time doing stuff like that, fine. I've had enough. Hey, what's this? Oh, look what's coming next. I'm Irving, and I have no life, just like you.
Well, finally, Irving got 3 slugs in the belly. It was right outside the Frontier Deli. He was sitting there twirling his gun around, and Butterfingers Irving gunned himself down. Irving. Big fat Irving. Big dum-dum Irving. Big dum-dum dead Irving. The 142nd fastest gun in the West.